What's up, YouTube? I'm back. It's Damien, and I've had a lot of people ask me about doing the studio tour, so I decided, why not? Let's go ahead and do one. Okay, so to start it off, let's talk about the brains of the whole setup. So this is my iMac, my 27-inch, and I run Logic Pro X as my DAW of choice, and then sometimes also to make my beats, I will use Machine as well. So going over here on my monitoring system, right here are the iLoud by IK Multimedia, and this is pretty much kind of a secondary source of listening, just kind of playback monitors to listen to. And then my bigger monitors right here, I use the Truth, they by Behringer. So let's zoom in on this model. Then going on, as many of you know, I do use the Audient interface. And so this is the ID22. I also do have the ID14, but both of them are pretty similar. I use this one just because it does give me control over both sets of my monitors. So yeah, so that's the reason why I bought the ID22, so I don't have to go and in order to listen to both sets of my monitors, continue to unplug and plug back up. So and then going over here, let's move this candle out of the way. So here I use for compression, this is my Distressor, is by Empirical Labs, and this is the Distressor. I just love this compressor. So just the different styles that it has on that you can use for vocals. It's a lot of different things that you can select, a lot of different options. And yeah, so really love my Distressor. And over here, my main preamp that I use is the Avalon. It's the 737, and this thing is pretty much like a staple in pretty much every major studio that you would come across. And then right above it is my DBX 160A, and this is more of a kind of a vintage compression, and sometimes I use it just depending on what track I'm recording. But yeah, so and you're probably wondering also what this box is back here, the red box. This box back here is just the power source to my Avantone CV12. And what I have right here running my monitors, well, running to be able to run my headphones, I use this thing right here, which is a wire solution, live wire solution. It's kind of cheap, but it does power my headphones and allow me to run a few different sets of headphones, just as probably I'm tracking or just recording, mixing and stuff. So I guess going to the headphones, this is a pair of headphones that I use, and let me bring this in the light right here. These are the Sennheiser HD 280 Pro, and these are 64 ohms. So these are some of the headphones that I've had from day one of owning my studio. And then we'll go to these next one. I use these to mix, and these are the Bird Dynamics, the DT 990 Pro, and these are 250 ohms. These are open back. The first one were closed back. And then I have another pair of headphones, which are the Audio Technica AT2020 M50s. So yeah, here's my other set of headphones. It's the Audio Technica, the Audio Technica AT2020 M50s. I was correct. And these bad boys have been through the ringer. And if anybody knows where I can get some more of this foam at without having to buy a whole nother pair, let me know. You can put a link in the description, and I'll be happy, extra happy, because I need that. with making my beats, I use the Machine Micro. This is the MK2 version. And yeah, I love this thing. Whenever I'm using Machine, I don't really use Machine a whole lot. But when I'm using Machine, this is what I'm running with it. So right here is my dusty keyboard, and this is my MIDI controller. It's by Complete as well, and this is the MK2, the S49 MK2. So I love this thing right here just because I don't know how to play keys, but these lights right here, it's ways that you can actually program it, and when you select a certain scale, it'll allow you to play inside of that scale without really actually knowing how to play, so you'll never play any wrong notes as long as you're in the right scale. And yeah, so I love this thing, and it controls all of my Complete. I have Complete Ultimate, and it controls all of my Complete Ultimate sounds. So now going over here, switching, this is pretty much my portable setup. So I use the X Key, I think it's called the XKey25, and this is the Air version, so it's the Bluetooth version. And then I use it with my iPad Pro. It's the 9.7 inch. And so this is my setup that I use. I'm using Beatmaker 3, and yeah, I love the whole thing. I love just the app, and this is what I use a lot of times while I'm in the barbershop, cutting hair, and just in between clients. If I do have any time in between clients, I might sit back and make a beat or something. So this allows me to, I guess a lot of people use it to make full tracks, but a lot of times I just use it to kind of start the ideas and get things going, and then I finish up the beat by bringing it home, export it out into my Logic Pro, and finish the track up. So yeah, but this is my setup, and I do have a bunch of other plugins that go into it. I guess like instruments. Let me see if I can go through some. So I do have just a list of, just other plugins and stuff that I'm using to go along with it. That's one. This is more of the sample tank IK media setup. So yeah, I do have capabilities for a lot more sounds with that. Okay, and right here is my makeshift studio. It's my vocal booth pretty much. So what I've done is taken one of my backdrops and I put it back here. I have some soundproof curtains, and so I have set this up, as you can see, just my kind of rigging stuff up back here. A lot of people ask me how am I getting my vocals to sound as clean as I am. So in this room is a little bit more of a freer sound, which is not it's not all the way treated. So as you can see, a lot of the room is definitely not treated, but it is pretty dead in here, dead enough for me. But in order to add a lot of the compression that I add, what I've done is added this booth back here, and I'm gonna slide this open so you can kind of see how it works. So I've trapped it in the corner. I have a lot of deadening sound back here, and so when I'm recording vocals, I just step behind the thing and it traps a lot of the sound. It doesn't allow for a lot of the room noise to bleed into the microphone. So yeah, if you have something, I think I got these blankets from a company called Northern Equipment or something, but these are just soundproof blankets and they're pretty thick. So take you into the studio, And as you can see, you can probably hear the sound changing a tad bit because I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side of it now, so you can actually hear just a difference in the way the sound is. So as you can hear, it's a lot deader than it would be while I was standing on the outside. So yeah. And so right here I have a ring light and I have a young Nuo light, just to kind of accent. The young Nuo light is more of an accent light. As you can see back here, got my weights in the corner, which I need to hit them things more often. But yeah, so here's my junk section. So I really didn't want to show this section, but yeah, this is my junk section. So this is the ugliest part of the studio sometimes. Yeah, so let's get this light over here a tad bit. And you can just see all my knick-knack stuff. I'm not gonna go through all of this. Kind of got the camera strap, my wireless microphones, and going through. I also use, sometimes when I'm doing my videos, I use my Zoom recorder. This is the Zoom H1, I think. Yeah, this is the Zoom H1. And then I have one that's a little bit bigger, and this has more controls, compression and everything, but this is the Zoom H4n. So I use either one of those sometimes to record the audio. Another little iPhone stand, and I'm recording this video actually with my iPhone 8 on my new rig and new setup. And then here are two more of my interfaces that I have. So this is the ID 14 right here, and then also this is my Focusrite 2i2. It's the generation 2 version. So I'll be doing tests with that too. So just look up or look out and subscribe for those videos coming up to be able to test microphones with that. And speaking of a microphone, here's one of the microphones that a friend of mine allowed me to be able to use. This microphone may be somewhat of a cheaper option for anybody looking to get a microphone for pretty cheap. I think you can probably find these roughly around about $50 on Amazon. So while we're looking at it, let's take a look and see what it is. And this is just a cheap MXL microphone, but like I say, you can make music on any microphone. But this is the MXL 550, and that's a large diaphragm condenser. And this, I think, is a small, I don't know what they call these microphone, pen microphones or whatever, but this is the set that it comes with. It's like a 551 MXL. Never even plugged this thing, never even plugged it in to listen to it. I'm really more concerned about vocal mics, and I'm not sure if this would be a good vocal mic. I don't think so, but yeah, there you have it. Those two mics. And while we are on microphones, let's go to the mic locker. So in no particular order, these are the microphones that I'm working with, and I'm looking to do all kinds of rap vocal tests with these microphones. So if you are interested in hearing any of these matched against each other, let me know. And starting off right here, we have, this is by Blue Microphones. This is the Bluebird microphone, and it's not the introductory microphone. It used to be before they came out with the Spark, but this is the next step up from the Blue Spark. This microphone right here actually is the Scarlett Studio CM25, and I actually bought this microphone just to run some tests. I bought it secondhand, and as you can see, it's just kind of damaged, and but I think the sound quality is there, so you'll hear everything that this microphone puts out against some of my other microphones. So right here is the Neumann. This is the U87. This is the AI version, and this mic just speaks for itself. Pretty much a staple in a lot of major studios to go along with the Avalon preamp and the Distressor compressor. So that's just one of the microphones that you'll find that everybody, if they don't have it, they want the microphone. And then right next to it is probably the opposite. This is the newer NW800, and I actually got this mic as just basically a throw-in when I bought my Focusrite 2i2. And so yeah, I'll run some tests with this microphone as well. And this microphone, the next one, is the Audio Technica. I almost forgot the name, but the Audio Technica. This is the 2020 AT2020 version, and this was really one of the first mics that I've ever used in my own home recording setup. And yeah, so it's real good quality for cheap. I think you can find them used for probably under $70. So and right next to it is a few steps up from the AT2020. This is the AT4040, and this microphone is it's real smooth sounding, I think, for a lot of vocalists as far as singers and stuff too. So we'll try this thing out. I haven't done a video for it yet on rap vocals, so we'll try that on some rap vocals. And then right next to it is the C414 by AKG, and this thing is just, it's a beast as well. It speaks for itself. So you'll find this and the Neumann U87 in a lot of major studios. And right next to it, to go with the power supply back here, is the Avantone. It's the CV12 that I told you about earlier. And this is the only tube mic that I still own currently. And then right next to it is just another studio staple, but this is on the lower end, but this is just a trusted mic, and this is the Shure, the SM57. And a lot of people use these mics just for a lot of different things. So this is one of those mics that you can throw and do whatever with, and you won't ever kill this mic because it's built like a tank. And right next to it is the Rode NT1. This is the Rode NT1, and the other one, the silver version of this, is the Rode NT1A. I have had the Rode NT1A, and I really didn't like the sound of it. It was kind of harsh, and I was kind of leery on even getting this one. But when I did get it, I was actually surprised that the sound, it really doesn't sound too much like the Rode NT1A. It's a lot flatter response, a lot more richer sound in my opinion, and it's a good mic for cheap. And then last but not least is the Neumann TLM 103, and this microphone was actually the mic that I got because I've heard it on a few records from some friends of mine, and just the vocals they were getting from it sounds nice. And if you know how to use this mic, it's a very good mic. So but yeah, all in all, this is my setup. And like I said, if you have any questions, I almost forgot about my lava lamp back here, but it hasn't really gotten started because I'm just now coming back here. This right here is one of my red lights, and I like having the lights lit up. And you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what everything looks like when I'm in full vibe pretty much. So here we go in my vibe mode. Got my candles burning, got my lights displayed. So all in all, that's my setup. And if you have any questions, if you have any tests that you want me to run using any of the equipment that you've seen, please leave it down in the comment section, or you can hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description, and then you can ask me these things. And yeah, so but yeah, anyway, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right, I'm out.